What are arnica flowers beneficial for? Welcome tonight on Nature's Mysteries Medicine Show. This is our 24th episode and we're going to be learning about arnica flowers this evening. So welcome to our show. I'm Michele Wildflower. I am the Director of Education for Nature's Mysteries Academy of Holistic Health. I'm also the founder and formulator for Nature's Mysteries Apothecary. And I know what it feels like to want to find other alternatives for remedies that our doctors give us that cause debilitating side effects. And arnica is an excellent option because it has a lot of pain relieving properties. So there's a quote that I actually wrote about in my book. I was contracted to write this book by the University of Natural Health as an herbal course for them. And it's actually a prerequisite. All the students that go through the school have to. Hi, Summer. Hi, Wendy. Thanks for joining us. I had to write the book for the University of Natural Health as an herbal course for them. And it's a prerequisite. All the students that go through the school have to read my book and take my course. And we profiled 33 different herbs, and arnica is one of the ones that we're going to talk about tonight that I profiled in my book. And so one of the quotes that is at the beginning of the arnica profile is, if spots and blisters erupt between the skin and flesh, then let the person cook the herb in water and wrap the blemishes, and then the person will be healed. And that is from Hildegard of Bingen, and she's an amazing herbalist from around the 14th or 15th century. And I wrote about her in my book. She's amazing. So it was actually used in the 16th century, and John Wolfgang von Goethe brewed it in a tea to help with his recovery from speeding his recovery from a heart attack, which extended his life and aided in his recovery. So it's been around for a long time. Conventional medicine has used it to for internal bleeding and also for cardiac arrest. Type yes in the comments if you've used arnica before. Even if you're watching the replay, you can still type it in there. And let us know if you've used either a homeopathic remedy or the oil. Yes, Wolfgang, yes, the composer. He was actually also a writer and a poet. Yes, and he had a heart attack. He was also part of the that was easy for me to say, anthroposophical movement that went on in Germany. And he was like a kind of like a founder in individuals who were exploring spirituality at that time with Rudolf Steiner, who we're learning about now in our holistic health practitioner program. And yes, he's very interesting. He has a lot of interesting works out there that you could check out his writings, and he talks about spirituality. So yeah, so he's amazing. And the parts that you are going to use for arnica are the flower. And it's not, you're not going to apply it directly to the skin. You would actually want to use some kind of arnica oil or a homeopathic remedy. When my daughters were little, we used to use the homeopathic arnica. Let me get a different color. I'll use perfect. Can't even talk tonight. Purple for the word homeopathic. And that would be a remedy that you could either find that comes in like a little circular tube, and that's Boron is the company, or you could find it in kind of like a squarish kind of white bottle, and that's Highland. And either one of them is very beneficial to carry with you if you experience any kind of injury or falls or bruising. Arnica is an excellent option. And if you have small children who are, you know, just like toddlers that are learning how to walk and are falling down often, or if you have children who are playing sports and experience injuries often, then homeopathic Arnica is a remedy that you would definitely want to have in your first aid kit. For my girls, I noticed that if we had the remedy with us and they experienced an injury when they were little, I'd just give them some and they would run off and be fine. But if I didn't have any Arnica, then they would cry for a lot longer. It would take longer to heal. And so it's just a great idea to try to carry that on hand if you're someone who experiences any kind of injuries, often, like I said, if you play sports or have young children. And one of the compounds, it has many compounds in it that are healing, but flavonoids are one of the ones that are kind of active. It has antioxidative properties to it, and it helps to prevent heart disease and cancer and immunodeficiency viruses. It helps to prevent plaque buildup in your arteries and narrowing of your vessel walls. So it's a great remedy for someone who's experiencing any kind of circulatory issues or any kind of cardiac issues. It has analgesic properties. So let's talk about some of its properties. It has a number of properties that are beneficial. And what I love is that it grows on the sides of mountains. So if you fall and you experience an injury, the Arnica is right there. Mother Nature is so good to us, isn't she? And her divine intelligence, just making the available herbs that we need, growing in places where we might need them. So, okay, so its properties are analgesic, which means that it is pain relieving. It's also, let me get a different one. We're trying to activate those parts of your brain by using different colored markers. And if you just kind of answer me on the in the comments, when I say type something in the comments, that also helps you to retain this information if you're like a little engaged with me. So analgesic, pain relieving. It also has anesthetic properties, which means that it deadens sensation. Anesthetic. It's also anti-inflammatory, so it brings down inflammation. So this is going to be a great choice for, any kind of like arthritis or broken bones. But getting back to its properties, it's also antiviral. It's also emollient, so it's soothing to the skin. And it also, emollients also softens skin. So if you were building up scar tissue, it would be an excellent choice for that. It's hemostatic, which means it stops bleeding. And we're not going to go over all the properties because it would take a very long time. But I just wanted to mention a couple of them to you. And then if you want to learn more, you can always get my book, and there's recipes in there and other options for you, and you can learn about other plants. It's a great option if you had, like we said, any kind of bruising or swelling. It's good for a carpal tunnel, any kind of sprains or wounds. It's great for hematomas or hair loss. It's not advised to apply directly onto the skin. So I will have to answer your guys' comments after, because it's hard for me to read them actually when I am live. So I appreciate you asking questions, but it's hard for me to answer them. I will answer them as soon as I am done with the show. And the parts of the body that it is beneficial for is the blood and the circulation. Like we said, it's not advised to apply directly to skin. you would apply it, you know, you could, like, if you had a wound or an injury, you could put it around it, but you just wouldn't put it directly on your, well, actually, you wouldn't apply it directly to skin at all, but if you had the oil, like if you had put some Arnica flowers in oil and you had infused the oil, then you could put that around the injury, but not directly on the injury, right? And like I said, I really actually preferred homeopathic myself as a remedy. I would carry it with me. However, it's not recommended for pregnant women or breastfeeding women. Just wanted to say that as a little caution. It does have other cautions, but we're not going to get into all of them this evening. That's why I was saying if you were interested in learning a little bit more, you could get my book. It has about 650 pages, and we profiled 33 different herbs. We go over growing, harvesting, storing, preparations, applications, and we're actually a couple weeks into our 12-week Holistic Health Practitioner program at Nature's Mysteries Academy of Holistic Health. Right now we're learning all about growing herbs and making herbal preparations. Our students are in the process of making some herbal remedies right now. And our winter session will begin January 25th. So if that's something that you're interested in, taking your passion and turning it into your profession, you could check us out at naturesmysteries.com. We have payment plans available, and scholarships are available. If you get it in early, there's limited scholarships available, but that is an option. And if you wanted to use Arnica as medicine, and you did have some of the flowers, you could make an infusion with a teaspoon of dried flowers to about a half a cup of water, and that could be taken internally in about 3 different doses throughout the day. If you wanted to use it as a wash on a wound that was healing, that wasn't broken skin or damaged skin, you could use 2 heaping teaspoons of flowers to about a cup of water, and then use that as a wash as needed. You could also make a poultice with it. And like we said, it's great for any kind of bruising or swelling. If you had any kind of inflammation in your mouth or your throat, you could use that infusion that you made as a gargle. And yeah, I think that's about all that I wanted to tell you guys about it tonight. And like I said, I appreciate your comments, and I will answer them after the show. I'll go on there and I'll be able to actually read them and give you good answers. And if you have any other questions, you can always reach out to us at info@naturesmysteries.com. Let's see if there's any other questions that anyone has and we haven't answered them in the show, and you don't want to email us, you can always send us a message on Messenger. And it's going to be starting a new month soon. This month we were all talking about flower medicine, so stay tuned on our page to see what we're going to be talking about next month. And I congratulate you for joining us this evening and taking the time to actually learn about other remedies that would be beneficial for you that don't have debilitating side effects. So we'll look forward to seeing you next time.